Oh, first of all, it was in Brooklyn, 84 Autumn Avenue, and I appeared on the scene April the 19th, 1922. It wasn't a hospital confinement, it was delivered at home. And I'm told by my mother that my grandmother came down after the birth and said, "What is it?" Oh, and my mother said, "Oh, it's a little boy." Oh, she said, "Another teapot." And so that's the way it went. And it was a house that my father was an electrical contractor, so he was he was very handy, and he was always, whenever a holiday would come around, he'd be busy tearing the house apart, doing things that my mother would say, "George, did you have to do it now?" And I'd say, "Anna, do you want it done?" So, anyway, that's the way I was brought up. And there were, at the time of my arrival, there were 3 boys ahead of me and 2 girls. No, 1 girl, Margie. The other girl didn't come up till I was 5 years of age when Rosemary showed up. Anyway, it was kind of what you would call a railroad flat. 2 stories, stairs going up, and the rooms off to the side, living room, dining room, bedrooms, parlor. Everybody had to have a parlor. And the funny thing is, not funny, but there's some kind of morbid things that you think about when you think of a parlor, because one memory of it was my grandmother being laid out there in her casket in the parlor. That's what they used to do in those days. So, I know it's a funny thing. After she passed away, I was walking down the street, and I was just going over to our aunt's house, and my grandmother called me, said, "Donald," and I turned around, and I could see exactly where it came from, but of course she wasn't there. They said it was nonsense, but I remember that. Anyway, time went on, and we went to the Blessed Sacrament School, where all of my brothers and sisters went before me. I hope they made a good appearance. Our reputation was at stake. And so that was through the 8th grade there. Funny, there's a question in one of these interview things about, were you ever in a play? And in our school, grade school, all the nuns, each class had to have some sort of a play. I remember, not like yours with Uncle Tom's Cabin, but it was kind of we had to sing Kathleen Mavourneen, we had to sing the Blacksmith Song, and of course we were very good at it, according to my mother and father. So, and after that, I went with both my brother Billy was a senior at Bishop Loughlin High School, and my brother Frank was a junior, or sophomore. I guess he was only a sophomore there when I went there as a freshman to Bishop Loughlin High School, and we all graduated from it. And Frank went from there. Billy went from there to St. John's for pre-med, and after that he went on to Long Island College of Medicine for his medical training. Frank went on to the Coast Guard Academy, graduated from there in 1942. and I went on to eventually to the Merchant Marine Academy in 1942. And I was the best man at his and Rosemary's wedding. And there was one question in that uh, questionnaire there that said, what do you remember uh, about your father? Something that stands out. And I remember when when I was best man at Frank's wedding, I was in uniform. Frank was an ensign. By that time, I was just a cadet. But my father said to my mother, according to her later, he said, "Will you look at those two boys?" Okay, my youngest sister, she showed up when I was 5 years of age, and she was a thorn in my side ever since. Not really, but when she was a baby, she was very spoiled. Aunt Mary used to call her Miss Grumpy. And as she matured, when she got to be age 20 or so, she became very lovable. It took that long.